All right, how's everybody doing on this Tuesday? The Iceman here on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel. Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about Daniel Bryan's injury and whatnot, and WWE is really not telling us a heck of a whole lot. All they're saying is he may not be there for Extreme Rules. He was scheduled for Monday Night Raw last night. He did not appear. He's also scheduled for SmackDown tapings for tonight. Whether or not he appears there or not remains to be seen. I honestly think that this injury to Daniel Bryan is a lot more serious than what anybody is letting us know at this point in time. In all fairness to Daniel Bryan, the injury he sustained, last year was a serious one, and he was out for a very, very long time. And it's unfortunate because Daniel Bryan is probably one of the most popular superstars amongst the WWE Universe fans, at this point in time. There's really nobody else that, can exceed the cheers that Daniel Bryan gets. But we all have to understand, too, as well, his type of in ring demeanor, um, his fast paced, high flying type of things that he does within the ring is one of those kind of situations where this is, you know, it's so much easier for a superstar to sustain an injury than be just on the mat level, so to speak, like more so like a John Cena, how John Cena is more on a mat level type of basis, or the Big Show, or Kane. There's a lot of wrestlers that stay pretty much off the ropes. I mean, occasionally you will see a John Cena on the ropes, but you see guys like Ziggler, Rollins, Daniel Bryan, they're on the ropes all the time. Newcomers like Neville, uh, he's a high flyer. He defies gravity. Unfortunately, right now, it looks like Daniel Bryan cannot defy gravity because the weird part about it is, I recall all these injuries, from other WWE superstars like Christian and Rey Mysterio, and there's many others. Once you sustain certain kind of injuries, it seems like after that, more always seem to follow. And this is the reason why Christian, we don't see him anymore. He constantly got hurt. Rey Mysterio here in the WWE, we very rarely saw because of a lot of injuries, and it was due to his high flying acrobatic moves. He did a lot of maneuvers off the top rope and whatnot. And the same goes for Daniel Bryan, and it's really unfortunate. Um, what's going to happen to Daniel Bryan? I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't even know the actual real situation of him. All we can read is what we read here on the internet, on the wrestling news sources. And of course, we all know they're always like 50-50. But when the WWE announces on their flagship show, Raw, that Daniel Bryan may not appear on Raw, may not appear at Extreme Rules, makes you wonder, then there possibly is something really wrong. And of course, if this indeed does happen, it truly makes all us Daniel Bryan fans here in the WWE wonder, how much longer he's got to wrestle within the WWE. It's unfortunate, but people don't realize that Daniel Bryan has been doing this kind of high flying movement for a very, very long time, because everybody seems to forget, or maybe a lot of people don't realize, he was Bryan Danielson, obviously his real name, in Ring of Honor, and he just did this stuff way back then, and maybe his legs and his knees and his body is just starting getting the wear and tear, which is similar to what we saw with CM Punk. And at least this time around, the WWE is recognizing the fact with Daniel Bryan and his injuries, and they're making sure that it doesn't, you know, get any worse than what it is. Whereas, honestly, with CM Punk worked with a lot of injuries, and a lot of people may disagree with this, and a lot of people may say it's just a bunch of crap. But the bottom line is, you know, before anybody really confronted the WWE about how they had to work with injuries like CM Punk did, you know, it just went on. But ever since that particular point in time, now when there's injuries within the WWE, you know, the WWE is taking steps and taking measures to try to rectify it, and, you know, and try to do things which will not jeopardize their superstar's career, which I give them credit for that. The bottom line is Daniel Bryan's career coming to a near end? Nobody knows. Um, you know, at least Daniel Bryan's not saying so at this point. Neither is the WWE. I will say this, though. If Daniel Bryan does end up having to leave the WWE due to a career-ending injury, much like Edge did, it will be a big blow to the WWE. And then you have to wonder about the other guys, you know, that do the kind of moves that Daniel Bryan does, like Seth Rollins and whatnot. And now we've recently have heard that the WWE does not want Seth Rollins doing the curb stomp anymore. Does this have something to do with the injury to Daniel Bryan? We don't know. But, you know, somewhere down the road, things will all gel together, and will, you know, really finally come up with what the answer and truly what is really going on with the WWE. But hopefully, in my mind, for the WWE universe and a fan that I am of Daniel Bryan, although when he was on top of the world in the WWE, the exposure was just way too much, like it is with Seth Rollins right now. But I wish Daniel Bryan well, and hopefully he can continue his career. But I think if he does, he needs to tone it down a little bit. But then again, you know, if he changes the way he is within the ring, will we all feel the same way about Daniel Bryan? That's another, you know, subject in itself. So, anyhow, these are my thoughts. These are my opinions here on this Tuesday on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel. And I also want to thank Andre Corbeil, Big Ray from Can-Am Wrestling Connection, and OneWrestlingVideo.com, OneWrestling.com. Honestly, these guys are like very, very class act people. And, you know, to have Ray on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel was, you know, just phenomenal for me. And I appreciate everything he did for me when we recorded this video this past Sunday morning. So, in any event, hopefully I get to do it again. I would also, you know, be honest with you, I would like to do it with Andre and Big Ray. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But anyway, check out Big Ray's show on Twitter, as well as checking out Andre_Corbeil at Twitter, and of course, OneWrestlingVideo.com, OneWrestling.com, Andre Corbeil, Big Ray's wrestling show. Guys, you won't be disappointed. So anyway, on this Tuesday, the Iceman is going to say so long, and it's a day without wrestling. I mean, I've been watching Impact from 2005. Now I'm into February. Fun stuff, guys. Very, very fun stuff. I will say this about Raw last night. I thought it was an excellent show. I love the RKO out of nowhere by Randy Orton. I love the ending segment. I knew Randy Orton was going to get into that ring before that cage closed on Seth Rollins. I just knew it, and I knew Randy Orton was going to give Rollins an RKO. I loved it. Let's just see what happens at Extreme Rules with Kane as the keeper of the gate, so to speak. What's going to happen there? One and only wonders. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll see y'all next time, everybody. This is the Iceman here on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel. Check me out on Facebook on the Jeffrey Rose Facebook page and Iceman's Wrestling Extreme Facebook page, and also on Twitter at Jeffrey Rose 12. Peace out, buddies.